moretsi wa seroma moa sa Aganang FM mmogo re a tswelela re buile ke your favorite show, your favorite presenter, Ramafala Ramatsusa. For the past 2 weeks, ntere snale lona ke kamabakanyana rileng, and we know gore you have missed this show. You have been longing for this show, and we are back this evening like we have earlier on said. Today it's a jam-packed show. It's a jam-packed show. Today we discussing serious issues that are affecting our people on daily basis. They are real. In this show, real. We don't just talk the textbook. We don't talk things fiction. When we speak about something, yeah, exist a thing. Harwiga guest textbook. Bua Molao, you can relate. Go on, because many by the time we have made the law or the law has been made to be aloof. People cannot relate with the law because the law has been made aloof by the people who practice the law. So today I have promised you earlier on, we have a guest, and then our guest is an advocate by profession, more advocate. Mo advocate, gore ga ra tlisa motho fela re na le mo advocate. So o na le rona o re joinile mo mogaleng e re ke modumedise advocate Molete dumela mma
a ge re le kae
matsogo re tsogile re ka utlwa lona
nyana ke timeletse go nna ka kwana gore ke khona go share le baretsi and everybody else is watching on Facebook as well.
Yes, I can tell you, I can really tell you from where I am, Hore, people are looking forward to sharing with us, are looking forward to being with us today. People are excited about today's show. The excitement I can even see. She's so excited. She's smiling. She's been longing for from the time you'll be here. So they have been so excited. So I can tell you, we are all excited that you are with us this evening. Now, Advocate Molete, briefly. Now when I started to see you, or when I got to know about you, I think it was in the early 2000s, when you were a candidate attorney at Carltonville. If my memory serves me well, you were one of the few black ladies who Carltonville by Longhore, they were involved in the legal profession. I could not think of any other candidate attorney or a lawyer for that matter, Yamutomunso, Wamusadi, or una practice Molao then. So I think you were the only one, Kanakoyoko Carltonville, as a male practice Molao.
Correct, yeah, as far as I recall, yes. I think I was the only one within that age group and within that year.
Yeah, and yes. By then, I remember now I was just a messenger then, and
yes.
I think it's very important that I should give you your flowers today, because it's people such as you, Bo Oscar Leketi, Bo Thabo Dipuri, they came later on, Bo Timothy Chifura. By long you became an inspiration to me. End up study Molao. So. That's the role that you played in my life, that today when people call me a lawyer and also having a show on radio, Bua Molao, it's you are amongst the people they planted a seed. Let's say it's or lejala peo mobotshelong.
No fighting with this, I'm really happy. It's well done.
Yes. Now, Advocate, today for the past 3 weeks we have been discussing this topic, and when I saw you talking about it, I said there cannot be any other person that I can invite in the show to come and talk about this show. To come and talk about this topic. For the past 3 weeks, I had the person, I was approaching it from the position yandade, from the position in most instances, not always, in most instances, they are the ones they are perpetrators. I have never spoken with the people who receives this unfortunate act, GBV. And now today we are talking to you as an advocate, but you're not going to speak to us the law. You're going to talk to us about this issue, gender-based violence. You on Facebook, you were saying you are not a victim, but you are a survivor.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. What do you mean by not being a victim? Because most people see themselves as victims, but when you say I'm not a victim, I'm a survivor. Yes.
So I'm saying, so being a victim in any abuse, like any other event, like death and divorce and the like, they are traumatic events, right? And when you live based on what happened in the past, and you live your life concentrating much on what happened and the pain that you felt then, you sit on the victim guilt, right? Because people are feeling sorry for you and they want to be there for you. But what's important is to come out a warrior in any type of traumatic event.
Yes.
And by that, I mean, look at the positive side. Look at what that traumatic event can do in a positive light. What can you do with it instead of sitting and crying about it? What is it that you can do to assist other people, to change somebody else's life? And one of the reasons I agreed to do this interview was that I know that that as we speak, there's somebody out there sitting in an abusive relationship and they're scared to leave, or they don't want to leave for whatever reason, or they're not ready to leave for whatever reason. So if that person is listening today, then I want them to come out as survivors. I want to see themselves. I want them to see themselves as survivors.
Yes.
In a sense that, but no, I heard Adv Lerato or I heard Lerato speaking about this, and I'd like to get out the same way that she got out. Because the worst could happen. So that's what it means in a nutshell. Being a survivor means getting out of it and not living in the past. But of course, there's a process. It's a process. It's not easy to not live in the past. It's a process not to hate. It's a process to forgive. It's a process to understand that if you don't move on from the past, you are literally living in the past, and whoever that has hurt you is still controlling your life today. Yeah. And I'll go deeper into it as we go on. When I speak about the effect of abuse, the impact of GBV on the people who have experienced it.
Now, I want you to tell me, because this thing would have started, it would not have started during the honeymoon phase. In any relationship, there's a honeymoon phase. Now, I want you to tell me, during the honeymoon phase, were there signs, but No man, this person a ka tswa e le gore man ga mnate sentle.
No. Abusers are very good at the marketing step. No, the step one. Me and my friends used to call it step one of the relationship. At that time, they are selling a picture or an idea of who they are. And they are very good at that. And because abuse, it happens gradually, it doesn't happen at the same time. By the time the abuse starts, they're already done with you psychologically.
Oh.
Right? You have fallen in love with this person, and the only thing you really want to do is be with them, right? So when something happens, when the first slap happens, first of all, you are shocked, and you do not want to believe that this person that you love, this sweet man that you like, has now become an animal or has become an abusive character. So, for me, I wanted to fix him, right?
Oh.
I wanted to fix him. So instead of figuring out from the first time, I wanted to find out. And it's in my nature. I made it a project. Everything is a project. So I made it a project to figure out what is wrong with him. And I did a research on why do people abuse others. You know, I called family and I'm like, okay, this is what happened, but why? Why is this person behaving like this? Because I met him, he's a really nice person. Instead of moving away from him at that time. And in my head, I told myself, Corey, there's no way that this man is gone. There's a nice person in there. I really want this man back. And I really focused on trying to get him back, honestly. And when I realized now, today, in current day, I know that there was no way that I was going to rescue him. So I made it my job to become a psychologist and to rescue him from his problems. Try to figure out why he was so abusive, and maybe he experienced abuse when he was younger. How is it that I can help him? And everything becomes about him. My focus is not even about me any longer. It's not about the pain that I'm feeling. It's not about the psychological or emotional abuse and the developmental abuse anymore. It's not about me. It's entirely about him, because I'm trying to find that guy that I need. And a few weeks ago, I shared a post. I posted something where I was explaining that if you are in an abusive relationship and you are hoping that the person that you met is going to come back, you are really fooling yourself. They're never going to come back. They will not come back. And it's not your job to try and rescue them. Your job is to save your life. Your job is to love yourself enough to actually get away from the situation.
Now tell me, you know the first time it happens. Now I want you to tell me, when it happens, are you a lawyer, or you are just a Lerato from Tokweng, maybe Oko Varsity, or this thing happens when you are now a lawyer, you know the law, you understand the law, you understand, you have represented people, by they are victims.
So I'm happy you asked that question, because there's a misconception that people who stay in abusive relationships stay because they're waiting for money.
Yeah.
People are thinking there's something nice that you're waiting for, right?
Yeah.
But not necessarily. So to answer your question, no, I was already, I was in my early 20s So 25, 26, between 20, yeah, between 25 and 28, I would say. So I was already in Carlton View. I was already practicing as an associate. I was already admitted as an attorney at the time when the abuse started.
Yo. You're not even a candidate. I want to see the moment here. So by that time you're already an admitted attorney.
Yes, I'm already.
And you are educated, number one. Not only are you educated, you are beautiful. Not only are you beautiful, you are confident, you know your rights. People believe in you as a lawyer, but you've got your own money. You don't need any money from any man for you to survive. You can pay your rent. You can buy whatever that you want to buy. If you want to buy chicken licking, you buy it. If you want Nando's, you can buy it. In essence, you don't even need a man to validate you. But this thing still happens to you.
Yes. Nothing matters at the time except the fact that I love this man, one. Number two, I don't love myself enough to leave him. And I don't even know what it means to self-love at the time. But I in my head at the time, I thought I knew what self-love is. But it tells you, Khuri, I was sitting in that relationship and I wasn't going anywhere. But I showed confidence. I mean, you know me, you know my personality.
Yes.
I mean, you know, active, like I'm that type of person. But you'd never suspect that I'm going through an abusive relationship. And you'd never, that thought would never come to you because you are thinking, no, there's no way, man, Lerato knows the law. You know? Yeah, and talking about the law, so the first time it happened, I blamed myself first. And that happens across all relationships where you have an abusive partner.
So yeah, wait a moment, you blamed yourself?
Yes, so the first time it happened, it's just a slap, and then I blamed myself, right?
Yes.
And I blamed myself, okay, maybe there's something I did, but one of the things I know I didn't do, I didn't pick up the phone. And I said, no, I should have picked up the phone, right? And the slap, and then it's followed by an apology, followed by a nice gift, nyana there, and then it's followed by, let me take you out, you know, we went out for drinks, and then we came back and apology, okay, let's move on, I'll never do this again, I'm really sorry, see what you make me do. And then I'm like, yeah, I'm really sorry. I'm actually apologizing for being beaten up because I didn't answer my phone. And when I didn't answer my phone, I was actually visiting someone. And now maybe I shouldn't have gone there, you know.
So you are being assaulted?
I'm creating reasons. Like, it doesn't matter what the details of the story are. The point I'm trying to show you is that I'm creating reasons to blame myself. So that's the first time, right? And then a year goes by. I've even forgotten. We go deeper in the relationship now. It's getting even more serious. We've forgotten about that. I've forgotten that I've been slapped. Even I'm thinking, no, this person is fine. I'm not even worried about it. I'm not concerned that it might happen again because it hasn't been happening. And then a year passes, and then the following year it happens again. And when it happens, now it has become a bit more than just one slap, a few more slaps. And a punch, right? And then it follows again. The same cycle happens. Nice gift. Let's go to Fenton. I'm gonna buy you nice things, gifts, all of those things. And then it's called love bombing. So they give you a whole lot of nice gifts and beautiful things to try and make you forget. And you forget the fifth, and then for now, when that happens, I don't really forget the fifth or the slapping. I'm convincing myself even further. Holy, this person is actually nice. Look at what he's doing for me.
Yes.
Right.
Because he's busy bombarding you with these gifts.
I'm in love, guys. I'm in love. I'm young. I'm in love. And but then now, when it happens the second time, I tell him, look, this is not right. I cannot be in this relationship any longer. I go and I get a protection order, and then he stops for a while. Okay.
Okay.
But I'm still sitting in this relationship, and I'm still sitting hoping that one day he's going to revert to being the guy that I met.
Yes.
Right. And then it's quiet again, and then it comes back again. So the reason I'm also giving you the time frame is that it starts slow and then it gets intense.
Yes.
So at the beginning it could happen, and then you forget about it and you believe that this person has really changed and they will never touch you again.
Yes.
But it doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. If anyone can come here and tell me that they know someone who repented, yeah, good for them. But how many people out of 10 have repented and never laid a hand again? But once they started, they go on and on and on. And with physical abuse, it never goes alone. It's always, yes, it's always with emotional abuse. It's always with verbal abuse. Right? Because you have people, the different types of abuse. So you have people who go through verbal abuse, which is very underestimated and which is not seen as verbal abuse. And then you see, then there's emotional abuse, where somebody is gaslighting you, you know. And gaslighting is when somebody tries to twist the reality that's happening. You end up thinking you're crazy.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
This person will literally say, no, I didn't say that to you, you know. When you know they actually said something to you, or when you know that they did something, right? And they beat you up and then they blame you for it. You see what you made me do, right?
Yes.
And when they say, you see what you made me do, it goes back to that same image of earlier on. Then you say, yeah, okay, sure. It's actually my fault. So it builds up on the some places.
So
that you come with over the years or over the period.
Yes. So you know, you earlier on said something that by the time it happens, this person has already defeated you psychologically. That is why they are able to gaslight you. That's why they are able to love bombard you, start to give you this prize, this gift and whatnot. So in essence, before they even start to slap you, they already know how you are going to react. They already know how deeply, emotionally, psychologically, mentally invested you are in a relationship. In essence, they have built a barrier around you. They have circled you to an extent that you don't see yourself outside that relationship. Any other thing that happens in a relationship, it's never about them. When they slap you, it's not them, it's you who have provoked them. Like you say, no, you went to a place, you did not answer the phone, and the phone that you would have bought with your money, not him buying it for you. But even in that situation, or a phone that belongs to you, that they have no contribution to it, they don't buy you data, they don't buy you airtime, they don't buy you anything, but they still feel entitled to, or when they phone, you must immediately stand up, pick up the phone and answer them.
Yeah.
Now tell me, this is happening, you now have got a protection order. was it not difficult for you to go to a court where people know you to be a lawyer, to open up and say, I'm a lawyer, you know, I represent people in this court, but it's unfortunate that I am abused by my partner and I need the protection of the law? Was it easy for you to do that, or was it difficult to go to court and then apply for a protection order? Now, Kore, I'm thinking of a woman who has got a position in the community. People respect her. Protection order because batho batla. Now, I want to a little bit to speak to this mentality wa batho batla reng gore, I mean, you know, Carltonville or wherever you are, it's a small area, and people would have known that you are a lawyer, and now you are forced to go and open a protection order. How difficult was it, or how easy was it for you to do that?
Okay, let me start with the process, and then I'll deal with whether it was but part later on.
Yes.
And how the two are linked.
Yes.
So here's the thing. Once you are abused, you literally lose yourself. There's a part of you that is gone. You are not functioning as a full Lerato that you know. So you can go easy. To get a protection order is probably one of the easiest things you can get.
Yes.
Right? I know that opening a case for assault could be a bit more difficult than getting a protection order at the police. But it's easy. So if anything, if I have to say anything about that, people must not be scared to go to the police station. They must go to the police station and say, I need to apply for a protection order. If the police officer is not helping you, demand to speak to the station commander, because otherwise you will not get any help. And the minute you start demanding to speak to the boss in any place, somebody will start helping you. So don't be scared of police officers sitting at the charge office and telling you, are you sure? No, just go do it. Right. The challenge, though, is going through with it, Shiman. Going through with it. You can open an assault case, you can have as many protection orders as you can, different jurisdictions, because that was me. But if you don't follow up, this person is still going to do what they do best. They're going to abuse you, they're going to do all sorts of things to you. So, what I advise people, things that I did that people must not do, is go to the police station, get a protection order, and then sit there and not pursue it because he has come back to you and love for you again. Right? Because that's what I did. I had gone 3, if not 4 times to get a protection order, but I never go through with it. I don't go to court after that. Right? So it stopped at the police station, and then him getting a notice that he must stop coming or stop assaulting me. And the other thing is, because I was not ready and I was not in that mental state, I was not ready to leave him.
Yes.
Even in when they will ask you, in simple terms, they will ask you, Mama, again, there's a list of things that you can say he mustn't do. He mustn't come near you.
Yes. Yes.
And even your parents, they must know, people around you, especially family members, right? They must know, okay, this person abusive, and askata ko bona aba nenga for please dualene no one will come to you and try and tell you problem ko puru u khotse gambe nene when papa ang shapa or whatever. It's not your business.
Yeah, manipulative and
Not your
guilt trip.
business. It's not your business what he went through.
Yes.
It's his responsibility or her responsibility.
Yes.
Right? Because it's gender based, by the way. I need to also watch my language before people kill me. But I'm saying him because for obvious reasons. That's politics for another day. But the point that I'm taking home is, don't listen to anyone coming to beg you to stay in a relationship because the person who's abusing you has come to them to ask for forgiveness.
Yes.
And has promised them that he will never do that. Do not stay in an abusive relationship because someone is promising to pay lobola or they are planning to pay lobola for you, and then negotiations are around the corner, so you are scared of disappointing your parents. If it means you are standing back at the altar, are you ready to do that? Because you are saving your life, and you are saving if you have kids, you are also saving your kids from the worst trauma that could happen to them.
Let me just disturb your line of thought there. There's something that you have raised that I think is very critical. So you go to the police station, you do a protection order, but now when the protection order that you do, it's for your protection. Or no, let him not talk to me, let him not come to work. But now what he does now is that he starts to speak with you through the people who are close to you, your family. He goes to them and becomes a victim. In essence, he abuses you twice. He slaps you and now goes and speaks with Batwakwalona and becomes this sweet konyana that maybe was Kuri. He was overcome by the situation. He's remorseful. He regrets what he has done. Now, your family is the one that now starts to speak to you. No, Lerato, you know what? Give him another chance. And these are the people, they don't know him when he's on his element. They don't know him when he's now in wearing his rage and now assaulting you and doing all these things. So, in essence, he does not only circle you, he also circles your family.
He does. So I don't want to forget this part.
Okay, yes.
So I said I was going to deal with Batubataring.
Yes.
Batubataring happens a lot because of societal standards in the community that we all come from, right? There's a lot of shame for your people will look at me as a failure if I get out of this relationship. One. Two, people will say I'm a lawyer, I should have known better. Or I'm a teacher, I should have known better. Or I'm a clever person generally, even if you don't have any profession, but you are literally a same person. You know. And then yes, there are some people who stay because they're being financially supported. Right? But it's not the main reason. It's a contributing factor with other people's stories. Right? And yes, so that's the part here. And then the sweet konyana thing. Abusers have a tendency of using your weakness to get everybody around you against you. They will go to your family and they will say, Lerato Lerato parties a lot. She parties a lot, or if it's an elder person, because at that time I was still in my 20s and I was young and vibrant, and I did go out a lot. And then Lerato goes out a lot, she doesn't rest, she smokes cigarettes, she drinks beer, and these are a list of things that they do. He introduces those things to the person that's going to listen.
Yes,
right?
yes.
By the time you come and say something, you complain about the abusive behavior, these people already have half of what you do.
Yes.
That is viewed as a bad thing. So no one listens to you. You get there, but over time you're coming up with excuses. You must stop doing 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So no one listens to you because now you've already been there with a story that says you are such a bad person or you are misbehaving. And remember, they behave like your parents. And when I'm saying your parents, I'm saying about like your autocratic, typical autocratic parents. Because so you must behave in a certain way. If you don't, therefore, you deserve to be punished. Okay? So that Sutonyana thing in the Bua, that's where it comes in. They present themselves as Sutonyana, then when you are presented as a villain. So when you start and talk to people around you, no one listens. All right? Yes. So that's also one of the things that contributes to people staying, because now you can't even go home. Some people can't even go home because if they go home, they're like, no, you better go back to marriage or to a relationship or whatever the relationship is. You better go and fix things because you can't be staying here at home with all misbehavior.
Yeah.
You disrespected your husband, now you're coming here to cry. That is the problem. That's another problem that keeps people in.
You're not talking about that. Earlier on, I was just discussing this issue with my producer. Kanya Nompumelelo Manyapelo. I'm not sure if you know the story. The lady who was married to a doctor in Mafikeng who ended up ahirile batho gore ba bolae the husband. We don't condone that at all. Now, in part of her story, she speaks about this thing where every time when she goes home, go have an RO complain about the abuse. Even when she wanted to get out of the marriage, you know, you enjoy, you know how le mosadi, you build your family, you don't break your family. When your husband does this, you don't do the opposite. Now she speaks about the abuse that she's suffering from a professional, because she was not because many by the times we associate abuse with people by they wear overalls. We never speak about people who are in suits. People like Shimani o tsama motsgare ke lawyera o tshwere gown o kamo o goga beke. We never associate them with abuse. We always think highly of them. No, these ones are professionals, they don't do these things. He always have and whatnot, but they perpetrate these things. But the ones Baba apparently boots overall, we are easily able to associate them and condemn them. This thing, yeah, a GBV or yeah, abuse of women. Now, this woman says, no, even when she speaks with people, people could not even believe her. The husband who's a doctor can do what he is doing to her.
Yes. And that happens a lot.
Yes.
That happens a lot.
Yes.
So here's the thing. I think we are going. I think we need a part 2.
Yes, indeed.
There's a lot that I haven't said that I think is still very important, especially the impact on the people who are abused and how they can be assisted. How specific things that people around us around that person can do to us. Tricks. Some of the things are really tricks because you never know. Some of the abusers can really get hectic. That is why you find people dying out there. So I think we need part 2. If your producer and everybody else there agrees, then we can do a part 2. No. I wanted to. Okay, sorry.
So, yeah, she's nodding. She's in agreement. In essence, depending on your schedule, maybe next week when it's still fresh on the minds of the listeners, maybe but I want you to then summarize for today, because today we have just done the intro. Yeah, the whole thing. Now we should then get into momoko nyayo no gore now. How do you get out of it, and then how do you recover from this thing? I think we'll deal with it on the second episode. Yes. So you can just sum up your thoughts there, then we will continue with it. And as you sum up, when you conclude, I want you to tell our listeners where they can get you. I know you are an advocate. Part of the program, this show, I know when you don't receive instructions directly, but e ka nna re ha ba ya go lawyer ntse bone ba re no gona le advocate mo re mo utlwile re batla o brief yena gore nne na to representang. So I want you to also leave your details. Part of this show is to also market the businesses of lawyers who come on this platform. Over and above the issue of you being an activist, you are also a lawyer, and you don't come, you are not for free. Kidula ke bolela baretsi ba Bua Molao gore go a khantshiwa go di lawyereng wa khantsha gore khona o bona tsela. So just summarize it for me. I want you to talk to a woman, Moikacheng, and those who are listening to us through Maranyane, who's abused. Today, it's the way forward. Just say a word or two to them, and a word of encouragement. That's why they are being abused. They are uneducated. They are poor. It's not about them. I just want you to speak to them.
All right. So on today's theme, I will say, okay, being abused is not your fault. It's not your fault. And number two, it is not your responsibility to fix the person who's abusing you.
Oh yeah.
It is their responsibility. If they are abusive because of whatever that happened to them, they must take that responsibility. And the events the things that have happened to them, or whatever the events that happened to them, is only used as an explanation, but it's not an excuse. It's not a reason. It does not give them the right to abuse you.
Yes.
So just because somebody is depressed from work or is going through things at home, even because they cannot afford to buy groceries for the kids, does not mean that they must take out that stress more.
Yes. Yes.
Right. So it's not your fault, number one. Number two, it's not your responsibility to fix them.
Yes.
Number three, there is help out there. Please go visit the SAPS and follow through on the protection order if you are going to get a protection order, and then follow through on a case of assault if you are going to open the case. If it happens that you are not following through, do not stop reporting. Do not stop reporting. And if you are abused, go to a doctor. Tell them, I was abused, he hit me with a fist, these are the bruises or these are the injuries.
Yes.
Keep a record of all of those things, because you will never know when you may need them.
Yes.
All right. And then, I think let me stop there, and then we can deal with the rest of the other issues at the next show.
All right. Thank you very much, Advocate Lerato. Now, I know Baretsi Barunaba Baredi Tsegatwafalo. Where do they find you if they want to talk to you, if they want you to assist them? Ba go krea ko kae ga ba batla gore ba re ntate Ramatsusa ha re batle any other advocate, re batla Advocate Molete o na le mo show ya gago, briefa yena ba go krea ko kae?
So I prefer the people can follow my LinkedIn account, so they must find Advocate Lerato Molete there. So all my details will be there.
Where?
And on my LinkedIn account.
Oh, LinkedIn account. Okay, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
And the reason I'm saying that is that I don't. So I assume that you explain how I work as an advocate. It's a referral profession. I don't deal with clients directly. So I don't want to give that impression.
Yes.
So if people go to attorneys and say they want advocates in Lerato Molete, attorneys will know
where to find you. Yes.
Yes.
All right.
And then on the socials, on Facebook on Facebook I'm Fono Sadi. Fono Sadi.
Okay. Yes.
FONO Sadi.
Yes.
And you can always look out for the content that I share regarding BBB there.
Yes.
That's the most important thing, and that is the most important lesson that people want to. That's the most important message that I want people to get. Follow me on my socials and look out for the post on GBV. I'm very vocal about it.
Yes.
And I would like to help people, and I'm hoping that just today, someone is getting out of a relationship.
Yes.
Because it really gets tough.
It is.
That's tough. Yeah.
All right. I advocate. Thanks very much for your time. Next week we will even give the listeners an opportunity that they interact directly with you. We thank you for your time.
All right, thank you for listening, and everyone on Facebook, thanks for watching. Thank
you very much, my sister. That was Advocate Lerato Molete. You can never say, some of these things are really difficult, painful. Sometimes we think some of the things di ragala fela ko bo sonorvatere, di ragala fela ko bo 11, di ragala fela ko matlwang, but some of the things ga dina sepelo gore o mang kore ga go kgatalatse gore o mang, di go fitlhella wherever you are. You just become a victim. I mean, who would have imagined there would be a guy who would be brave to raise his hand on an admitted attorney, lawyer, na re gotse lawyer di tshabiwa, re gotse lawyer di tlhompiwa, re gotse enere ga lawyer e kena o dutse mo fatshe o emela ka moto, ga o le motho hanta to bua le lawyer o apere katiba wa e rola katiba o bo e shoshobanyana kro kre o e shoshobanya go bontsha gore no o tlhompa motho. But GBV has got no respect at all, has got zero respect. Okay, lawyer le tsogo how tsabu suiwa, imagine. Hey, kore by the look of things o to kra le di judge di kitikiwa gona le ntate fela o ketekang judge a keteka magistrate kore magistrate o mo keteka. I mean, what has happened with our people? What has really happened? And something very interesting or something profound that advocate says, before they even abuse you, they circle you, before you should always blame yourself. They don't even come to you. They go to the people associated with you. They isolate you. That's what she's saying. Or end up because of what they are doing. These abusers, they make you think, no, it's about you. It is never about them. Advocate has said something very great. Now she says to us, don't ever blame yourself. It's not about you. You are not the one who abused yourself. That's what she's saying. That never ever at any stage blame yourself for it. This thing is happening to me because it's me who has done it. She says, it's not about you. And she says, it is not for you to correct these people. Let them correct themselves. When you don't have any responsibility of correcting them, no, kita mulukisa, kita mubakanya, all right. No. She says it's not your responsibility. Never make it your responsibility. They must correct themselves. And correct their things. And she says, when you go to court, we have a protection order. Follow up. Sky a protection order. How can I conclude over to Mercedes-Benz? Protection order everything. You will leave this world and the Mercedes-Benz would still be there. So she says, how would a case assault? Follow it up, because many but the times people open cases, they go to court and mutateng atshwarise motho ko mapodiseng manta ga kena go khoto akitikilwe ka re motho teng o na gatilwe ke trene a ba re o tlola case ka ba ge bana baka yo re tloja eng. Next time there would not be anything to be eaten. So advocate says follow it up. We really thank advocate for the lessons that she has given us. That was profound, that was powerful, and it is so we heard it from a person who understands not only the law and also the pain of GBV. And she says, no, she wants to come back again. So I want you to prepare yourself. Next week she will be back with us on air, and she's going to speak at length. So all those questions that you want to ask Dilukise, we are going to bring you these experts in this show. We're just going to Papa Tsomfela, Rijige Gamole, Khareboa.